So imagine this. It's the morning of my sister's wedding, and the groom is standing shirtless in my living room because Emeka the tailor has locked himself inside his shop and refused to answer his phone. Sounds crazy? That's just the start, but let me rewind. 2 months ago, my sister and Nkechi got engaged. Of course, as Nigerians, we needed outfits that would make Instagram explode. My family decided on matching agbadas for the men, and my sister wanted a custom asoebi gown that screamed, "I'm better than all of you." There comes Emeka. Now, Emeka is the type of tailor that everyone warns you about. He's good, like really good, but completely unreliable. He's the man who will tell you, "Your clothes are ready," even when he hasn't bought the fabric yet. But we still went to him because we didn't want to risk looking like extras at someone else's event. The first red flag appeared 2 weeks in. Emeka called me, sounding unusually confident. "Your agbadas are ready," he said. "Wow, already?" I asked. "Yes now, come and collect them," he said. I rushed to his shop only to find him sitting outside with 2 apprentices eating roasted corn. "Where are the agbadas?" I asked, excitement fading. He looked confused for a moment, then said, "Agbadas, you mean for Nkechi's wedding? They are almost ready, come back tomorrow." "Wait, you said they were ready," I insisted. Almost ready is ready," he replied, chewing his corn loudly. That was when I knew I had made a terrible mistake, but it was too late to find another tailor. Fast forward to 1 week before the wedding, Emeka's shop became a fortress. Every time I went there, it was either locked or he wasn't around. When I did catch him, he was always just finishing my order. By Wednesday, 2 days before the wedding, I threatened him. "Emeka, if those agbadas are not ready by tomorrow, I will." "Relax," he said, cutting me off. "You think I don't know what I'm doing? Just calm down. Everything will be perfect." Thursday morning, I got a call. "Your agbadas are ready. Come and collect them." This time, I wasn't taking any chances. I drove straight to his shop, and lo and behold, the agbadas were not agbadas. They were oversized kaftans that looked like something a retired chief would wear to bed. The embroidery was crooked, the fabric was wrong, and one of them had 2023 groomsmen stitched across the back. "Emeka!" I shouted. He raised a hand to stop me. "Calm down, Oga. These are just the samples. The real ones are almost ready." I lost it. "Samples? The wedding is in 2 days." 2 days is plenty of time now. Don't you trust me?" he insisted. I didn't trust him, but again, I had no choice. Which brings us to the wedding morning. By 7 a.m., Emeka still hadn't delivered the clothes. I called him about 100 times, but his phone was off. I went to his shop and found out it was locked. Meanwhile, my sister was calling me non-stop, threatening to disown me if the groom didn't have his outfit. Out of sheer desperation, I asked around the neighborhood. That's when someone said, "Check the bar near the junction. Emeka dey like go there drink early morning." A bar? On the morning of my sister's wedding? I thought to myself. I found him at the bar, as rightly said by his neighbor, sipping palm wine like he didn't have a care in the world. "Emeka!" I shouted. "Are you mad? Where are the clothes?" He looked at me like I was the crazy one. Oga, relax. The clothes are in my shop. "So why is the shop locked?" I asked. "My apprentice has the key. He went to buy akara," he explained. "Akara?" I dragged him to the shop, where we waited for his apprentice for 30 minutes. When the boy finally arrived, he opened the shop, and there it was, the groom's agbada, folded neatly on the table. It was perfect, absolutely flawless. I didn't know whether to hug him or punch him, but I grabbed the clothes and sped back home. The groom put it on, and everyone admired how amazing he looked. My sister never found out about the chaos, but I've never been so stressed in my life. Later that day, Emeka texted me. "Oga, I told you everything will be fine. Please leave a good review." I ignored him. If you think I would never go back to Emeka after what happened at my sister's wedding, You don't know how Nigerians work. The man was unreliable, yes, but those agbadas fire. And so 6 months later, when it was time for my cousin Uche's traditional wedding, guess who we called? Emeka. I know, fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, well, let's just say I was optimistic. This time, the order was simple. 2 custom senator suits for me and Uche, and matching Ankara shirts for the groomsmen. Nothing fancy, I told Emeka, just make it neat and on time. Oga, no wahala. I will even deliver it to your house this time, he said, smiling confidently. Are you sure? I asked, narrowing my eyes. See, I've changed. New year, new me, he explained. It was April. I should have known. 2 weeks before the wedding, I stopped by Emeka's shop to check on the progress. He was sitting outside with his apprentice, playing Ludo. Emeka, how far with my clothes? He looked up at me, confused. Which clothes? I nearly fainted. The clothes for Uche's wedding. I gave you the fabric 3 weeks ago. Oh, those clothes, he said, laughing nervously. Don't worry, they're almost ready. Have you even caught the fabric? I asked. He stood up dramatically and shouted into the shop, Chibuzo, bring that fabric for Oga. Chibuzo, his apprentice, emerged with a plastic bag. I opened it and saw my untouched fabric, still neatly folded. Emeka! Relax, Oga, he said, patting my shoulder. I work better under pressure. Trust me. 1 week to the wedding, I called Emeka every day to remind him. Each time he assured me the clothes were almost ready. On Thursday, 2 days to the event, I went to his shop unannounced. The shop was locked again. This time, I didn't even bother asking around. I headed straight for the bar near the junction, and as expected, he was there, drinking palm wine with some elders. Emeka! I screamed. He nearly choked on his drink when he saw me. Oga, what are you doing here? What do you mean, what am I doing here? Where are my clothes? I screamed at him. He scratched his head, looked around nervously, and said, let's go to the shop. When we got to the shop, Emeka unlocked the door and proudly showed me the clothes. Oga, see now, perfect fit. I picked up the senator suit and immediately noticed something was off. The sleeves were uneven. One was long enough to reach my wrist, and the other barely made it past my elbow. Emeka, what is this now? I asked, holding up the shirt. He frowned and snatched it from me. This one is just for testing. The real one is almost ready. Almost ready? Again? And the Ankara shirt for the groomsmen? I asked, dreading the answer. He pointed to a pile of fabric in the corner. Not one shirt had been sewn. At this point, I was desperate. I begged Emeka to focus. I even offered to stay in the shop and watch him work. He agreed, but only after I bought him suya and a bottle of coke. For the next 24 hours, I became his unpaid apprentice, threading needles, ironing fabric, and threatening his apprentices every time they tried to disappear. By Friday evening, the senator's suits were ready, sort of. The sleeves were fixed, but the pants were so tight I couldn't sit down without risking a wardrobe malfunction. Emeka, if I tear this cloth at the wedding, I will tear you, I warned him. Don't worry, Oga, just don't eat too much, he said, laughing loudly. On the wedding day, I wore the senator's suit, but I carried an extra pair of jeans in my car, just in case. Everything seemed fine until we got to the venue. That's when Uche, the groom, called me aside. Bro, where is my suit? He whispered. What do you mean? Didn't Emeka deliver it to you? I asked. He shook his head, panic in his eyes. I thought you had it. My heart sank. I called Emeka immediately. His phone was off. With less than an hour to the ceremony, I drove to Emeka's shop, praying he hadn't disappeared entirely. When I got there, I found him sitting outside, eating jollof rice. Emeka, where is the groom's suit? He looked at me, confused. Oh, I gave it to Chibuzo to deliver yesterday. I turned to Chibuzo, who was standing nearby, looking guilty. Chibuzo, where is the suit? I asked. He scratched his head. I forgot it at home. You what? Long story short, I dragged Chibuzo to his house, retrieved the suit, and sped back to the wedding. Uche got dressed just in time, and somehow everything went smoothly after that. But the real twist, Emeka showed up at the wedding wearing one of the Ankara shirts meant for the groomsmen. When I confronted him, he smiled and said, "Oga, I just wanted to show you how good my work is." Emeka almost ruined another wedding, but somehow he's still the best tailor in town. Just when you thought the madness of Emeka's tailoring career couldn't get worse, he somehow outdid himself. This time, it wasn't about a wedding or a big occasion. It was about one mysterious customer and a curse that turned our lives upside down. It started on a regular Monday morning. I had gone to Emeka's shop to remind him for the 5th time about my friend's upcoming engagement outfit. Emeka was unusually quiet, sitting beside his sewing machine and staring at a strange folded piece of fabric on his table. "Emeka, what's wrong?" I asked. He didn't even look up. This particular client, I don't understand them." "Which client?" I asked, curious. Emeka had dealt with all kinds of difficult customers before. What could be so special about this one? He sighed dramatically, like a Nollywood actor. "The person just dropped this fabric at night too. No face, no name, just a note. Make the suit or else." I burst into laughter. "Or else what? They will slap you." Emeka shook his head. "You don't understand. This one feels spiritual."
Did you enjoy that video? Then, watch out for part 2. Do not forget to turn on your notification bell so you'll be notified whenever I post another one. Yes. Do not forget to subscribe to my channel, like, comment and share my videos with your loved ones. Catch you in my next video. Bye.